Ryan.
Ryan Kennedy?
Ryan Kennedy.
Ryan Kennedy. All right. It's nice to be able to talk with you today. We're out here talking about ranked choice voting, and I just want to tell me, what are you doing here today?
What am I doing here? I'm out here to help support the launch of the RCV campaign in St. Paul. There was a big election in 2009 to get RCV implemented after some delays on the Minneapolis side, and it's just really great to see that the voters of St. Paul affirmed that they wanted this and that this is the type of system that they'd like to use, and now it's all kind of paying off because it's all now the city of St. Paul gets to use this and really see this. You call it an advanced form of democracy in action, and
kind of a reform.
Yeah, exactly.
Wonderful. Right, and then what's a good way to get young people involved, in your opinion, in this kind of reform of democracy?
Sure. I mean, I think it's first and foremost about information. Not many people are used to this type of voting system, and for young people, the first barrier is just knowing that it exists and knowing what it's all about. I certainly, this is something that can absolutely increase turnout and increase participation as it, kind of creates a better connection with, especially between young people who are sometimes disenfranchised in the voting system, so that they can see that, that they're not only being given two options anymore, or the option of wasting their vote, quote unquote, but that they really can vote for their heart and vote for their passions and vote for the people that they think are going to best represent them, but also not worry about having to vote against those things just to keep someone they don't like out of office.
Absolutely. So just to kind of paraphrase, essentially just to get the facts out there, break through the clutter, and get people interested and find out what it is that they'd like to see happen, and find out how they can help make that happen.
Absolutely, and there are a lot of young people in St. Paul. There, obviously with all the high schools and the 18-year-olds that are going to be voting or can be voting for the first time in this 2011 city elections, but also the college students. Right, there are a lot of college students living in St. Paul that want to vote in St. Paul, and in something here where it's a city election, and maybe students and young people wouldn't be as engaged in electing their city council members, they can get more engaged because it's also an opportunity to try out a new system.
And then, can you just tell me about, are there any upcoming events that will campaign more for ranked choice voting that we can get involved with? Or?
I'm sure there are. I don't know of any now, but I know that Sarah Clark and Gene Massey and the rest of the FairVote team are going to be kind of going all across the city in the next 5 months or so to get the word out about RCV in the 2011 elections here in St. Paul.
Okay, so would you recommend as well just to kind of keep an eye out and follow Minnesota, what is it, FairVoteMinnesota.org? Yep,
FairVote Minnesota, and also there's a Facebook page, there's Twitter, it's FairVoteMN Twitter, and so, those are the ways that, especially with young people who are generally more active online, to get information and to get it quickly, but also to volunteer opportunities and ways to get more involved in informing other young people and engaging with their own communities, because there's really young people can have a great ability to connect with other young people and making this making other people feel why this is important. And why it is important to get involved in something like a citywide election, as opposed, when there's not a president on the ballot or a governor or even, state legislature. But this still is a very important election, and it's made even more important by the fact that we need to show that RCV can and will work in St. Paul just as well as it worked in Minneapolis.
Absolutely. You definitely got to start somewhere. It's all interconnected anyway, so it's better to get involved in the early stages.
Right, absolutely. This is, over the next couple of years, this is a movement that's going to take the state, Duluth, Rochester, and then eventually in the state legislature. And so by showing, we've already shown that it can and it will work in the biggest city in Minnesota. We're going to show it can work in the second biggest city, and just keep going from there.
Right on. So it's out there proving its effectiveness as we speak. And Ryan, did you have any other closing statements?
No, I just want to thank you guys for the work you're doing.
Oh, well, thank you for taking the time to tell us a little bit more about it and how young people can get involved. And do get involved, because your vote matters. You need it. So.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.